Do you know that in just a few brief seconds, absolute silence can turn into a life or death moment? When snakes begin to hunt, everything happens so fast that there is no room for error. Every strike is a cold combination of speed, brutality, decisiveness, leaving the prey no chance at all. In the video, the brutal hunting, scenes of snakes that will shock you. You are about to witness moments that will leave viewers holding their breath, where danger does not come from sound, but from deadly silence. Let's watch now. King snake. In the world of snakes, the line between hunter and prey is often decided by venom resistance and physical strength. A king snake emerges from the leaf litter, silently tracking its target through chemical signals in the air. The moment the distance closes, the tension explodes. The king snake launches a lightning-fast strike, locking onto its opponent's body before the copperhead can react. A battle of muscle follows immediately, where constriction skills and total dominance are put on full display. The king snake is not only immune to its opponent's venom, but also possesses superior strength to control the situation. As resistance fades, the process of consumption begins. The king snake slowly swallows its opponent millimeter by millimeter, proving its status as a true king within the ecosystem. This moment reflects a harsh reality. In nature, preparation and biological adaptation are the keys to survival and victory. In confined spaces, caution quickly gives way to survival instinct. A king snake begins closing the distance, using its tongue to collect chemical cues from the target. Facing it, a hognose snake attempts to inflate its body as a deterrent, but this tactic proves ineffective against an enemy that knows no fear. When distance disappears, speed becomes the deciding factor. The king snake delivers a decisive attack, not with venom, but with pure muscular power. It begins deploying constricting coils around the opponent's body, a signature technique to neutralize resistance. The king snake uses its flexible body structure to seal off every escape route, increasing pressure on the opponent's circulatory system. Despite the hognose snake's efforts to twist free, the difference in hunting strategy seals the outcome. In the natural world, when two hunters collide, the one that controls space more effectively is usually the final victor. Cobra. From within the undergrowth, a cobra watches silently the patience of a predator, serving as its most terrifying weapon. It crawls low using bushes as cover to shorten the distance. However, the appearance of a mongoose completely changes the situation.
But they can't see him. He's too low to the ground.
Sensing the threat, the cobra immediately rises up, spreading its hood to display its ultimate defensive posture. The encounter erupts into a battle of speed and instinct. The mongoose repeatedly presses in, using superior agility to neutralize the cobra's deadly strikes. Faced with the persistence of its opponent, the snake is forced to retreat to preserve its life. As the predator disappears, calm returns, proving a harsh rule. In nature, vigilance and adaptability are the only keys to survival. A yellow mongoose detects the presence of its ancestral enemy, a cobra hidden in scorched grass. Upon facing each other, the cobra raises its body, high, flaring its hood to exaggerate its size and prepare for a lethal attack. However, the mongoose does not retreat. It uses harassment tactics, constantly moving to disrupt the snake's focus. Speed becomes the deciding factor for survival. A lightning-fast strike from the cobra is unleashed, but incredible reflexes allow the mongoose to evade the fangs by mere millimeters. With a precise bite to a vulnerable spot, it locks onto the opponent's head, completely neutralizing the cobra's most dangerous weapon. The battle ends as the hunter begins to claim its prize. In the natural world, the combination of courage and tactical calculation allows the mongoose to triumph over deadly venom. On scorching sand, a classic life-or-death confrontation begins to take shape. The cobra spreads its hood in warning, clearly signaling danger, but the mongoose shows no fear of lethal venom. The small mammal uses superior speed and agility to take control of the fight. It circles continuously, forcing the snake to strike at empty air and waste precious energy. The mongoose patiently waits for the slightest opening in the reptile's defenses to end the battle. When the moment arrives, it lunges with perfect precision. A fatal bite to the back of the neck completely disables the prey. The outcome proves that in nature, agility and strategy often defeat raw power. Across open fields, the presence of a top predator often begins with silence. A king cobra moves forward, using its tongue to analyze chemical traces in the air while searching for its preferred prey. Although the prey attempts to appear larger and raise its head in defense when facing a species that specializes in eating its own kind, all intimidation becomes meaningless against the disparity in power and killer instinct. The attack is swift and brutal. The hunter quickly clamps its jaws onto the opponent's head, a critical weak point that neutralizes any chance of counterattack. The rat snake coils its body in a desperate attempt to escape, but the predator's control is absolute. As resistance fades, the victor begins the swallowing process. Starting from the head allows the victim's scales to align smoothly, turning a large opponent into a vital energy source to sustain life for weeks to come. A rat snake moves through the grass, completely unaware that it has entered the sights of a superior hunter. The king cobra, a species that feeds on other snakes, carefully observes every small movement on the ground. The ambush happens in a flash as the hunter lunges forward and locks its jaws onto the prey's body. The rat snake struggles and constricts in an attempt to escape, but the vast difference in size and strength makes all resistance futile against the predator's grip.
Gather up the needle step by step.
Once the prey is fully subdued, the king cobra begins the swallowing process. It uses its flexible jaw structure to widen its mouth, slowly drawing the victim's entire body into its stomach, asserting its absolute dominance as a snake-eater within the natural food chain. Python. In the wild, the boundary between peace and deadly danger is often erased by perfect camouflage. A rabbit pauses beside a tree, completely unaware that it has entered the sights of a patient predator hidden in the shadows. The distance closes. A lightning-fast strike occurs faster than the prey's reflexes. Instantly, the hunting mechanism shifts from ambush to total restraint. Powerful muscular coils lock onto the target. This action generates immense pressure that cuts off blood circulation, causing the prey to fade rapidly before it can resist. When all struggle ceases, the process of energy intake begins. The python's flexible skull allows it to separate the lower jaw bones, enabling the mouth to open wide enough to engulf the prey. Rhythmic contractions of the neck muscles push the food deeper into the digestive system. This is proof of remarkable biological adaptation, accepting risk during feeding in exchange for energy that sustains life for weeks to come. What happens when prey lacks awareness of potential danger? A rabbit moves right beside a coiled python, completely unaware of the threat signals from the ambushing predator. The attack happens instantly. The hunter lunges at extreme speed, clamping down to immediately eliminate any chance of escape. The constriction mechanism activates simultaneously. Muscular coils tighten around the prey's ribcage, creating pressure that cuts off blood flow faster than simple suffocation. When resistance ends completely, the hunter adjusts its posture to prepare for swallowing the meal whole. The footage reveals the fragile boundary between peace and harsh survival laws, where speed and strength determine the final outcome. The images you have just seen reveal a harsh truth of nature in the wild life, and death are separated by only a moment. For snakes, every hunt is not merely about finding food, but an unforgiving struggle for survival. These moments remind us that nature does not operate on emotion, but on instinct and brutal laws. Every movement carries its price. If you found this video intense and gripping, please leave a comment, sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to continue exploring more raw, violent, and haunting wildlife stories. Thank you for watching. See you again on the next journey.